I'm showing you how to turn $10 in materials into a Benjamin and whoever's on the $5 bill all day long. This project is simple, versatile, customizable, and has been selling extremely well because it fits into the hands and lifestyles of everyone that walks by my booth. I tend to set up my selling space to have money makers, tried and true items, a few experimental new projects, and a couple of cheaper options for those penny pinchers. I offer free plans for everything behind me and a whole lot more. Jump on over to who'sthevoss.com and find your weekend project today. Grab yourself a 1x6x8 piece of pine that cost that much money. We're gonna need some help. Where's my... All right, chicken, keep an eye on the clock and the electric meter so that we can have an accurate, profitable number at the end of this video. I cut my 1x6 in half, 48 inches, so that it's safer to manage on the table saw. Setting my fence to 1 5/8 of an inch, I ripped these two pieces down, creating 6 slivers total. Now we need to lower our blade down to about 3/8 of an inch. I would simply use 5 pennies to do so, but what if they actually go through with getting rid of them? Don't stress about getting this measurement identical to 5 pennies high. It's just got to be anywhere between about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Nothing exact, won't throw anything off later down the road. Now we adjust our table saw fence to 1 3/8 of an inch and cut a groove, rotating the board and repeating this step so that we have one close to each edge, but only on one side of the board. Otherwise, we would have cut completely through our entire piece. Great question, chicken. What is going on with the grooves? The grooves are actually to hold a piece of glass, whether it be real glass or acrylic sheets. I picked these up, 12-pack, 6-pack on Amazon. If you went on over to Dollar Tree, you can pick up, like 4x4s, 4x6, standard picture frame sizes. You can get bigger pieces. That could be really cool here in a moment. And whether you're using the sheet of acrylic or an actual glass pane, both of them fit inside of this groove, only having one pass through our table saw. So let me show you how to get this done. So first we are setting our miter saw over to 45 degrees, and then with our grooves facing the back towards the fence, we're going to just cut the end off to create our first miter. Because our piece of acrylic is actually going into part of this piece of the wood, you have to figure out how much of this is going to be nipped off on the end to make your miters the correct lengths. And it's actually very easy to figure out if you don't want to do any math at all. So, lining up this sheet on the edge, I'm going to take a pencil, of course it's over there, and I'm going to mark right here where the mitered end meets my piece of acrylic. If you're using a piece of glass, you might just get a Sharpie with the fine point on there. This pencil works great. With that mark, I'm going to take this out, flip it around, and just like magic, we found the dumb way to get this done. There's our line. Take one of these guys. Line them on there. Again, your groove is always on the smaller piece of the miter. Line them up. My hands are going to get in the way here because I can't hold everything and show you. Junk. And that is where we're going to cut our next miter. And there you have your first piece. Now I need to actually take this board and cut the miter to be the right direction again because it flip-flops them as you make these pieces. So you do have a little bit of waste, but it's not too bad. What I like to do with this is I'm going to cut half of it and then I'm going to finish my cut because this miter goes over to this fence. When I make this cut, what it likes to do is suck the piece back in. It makes a loud thump noise. I don't care for that. And apparently this can happen too. Stay safe. And now that we have our two longer pieces, I need to make that smaller size for our 4-inch. After cutting each strip into one, I still got a lot of material left. Let's see how many we can end up with. With the scraps, I was able to make 2 more 5x7s and a smaller 4x4 inch. And I've still got a little bit of scrap, but things were getting a little close to the blade and I wanted to keep my hand toes as far away as possible. I'll give you 2 options for insertability on these boxes. My largest money maker for these right now has actually been to put one of these sheets available. I let them pick out the sheet because if they don't want a sheet, I haven't wasted one. And all it is they have different denominations on them from you pick your own to 500 and then 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. up to $10,000. So every time they put this denomination in the box, they mark off how much they put in there. And then once that is filled up, that's how much money they have put into this savings box. And for these, they don't take change. So a hole is simple enough. It's perfect. They roll it up, boop, done. 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch, find the center, mark the corners, drill it out. You're done. That's the easiest way to do it. You can also do a slot. If they want to put change in these, it's only going to hold about 60 bucks for this size. So to make your slot, what you're going to do is take one of your boards. If you want to build one of these guys to get the centering done easy, it's perfect. Just put a speed square, X the corners, drill those out, drill a spot in the center for your pencil, and when you put them on the top, you put these two little doodads there, draw your line, and it puts you a line perfectly in the center, no matter how large or small you make this. You can make it as big or small as you want. Bada bing. Then I take this guy, 2.5, 2.25 inches, make my mark. That is going to be where these end. And then a 1/4 inch Forstner bit. I drill out as much of the center as I can, and then using a chisel, you can finish it off. Now we're on to the final step, which is assembly. If you want to guess how many nails this is going to take, you can. It's not going to be a big number. Got our pieces here. If you are buying that plexiglass, it has a little piece of protective film on it on both sides. Some of them don't say the little reminder thing. It's just a clear piece of plastic. So you're going to peel both of these off. Then using Titebond 1, 2, 3, original, dark stain, super glue, doesn't matter. I'm going to put a little dot of glue, just a miniature amount. It's not going to be structurally sound. It doesn't have to really be over the top. I don't think it's going to just fall apart. If you're lining up your grains, that's a cool thing. You just kind of pop it together, just like so. Make the corner. 2 nails. Easy. I am using a $30 pin nailer from Harbor Freight, not sponsored. It does not have a head. Pin nails don't have the heads like brad nails do. I'm just using a 1-inch pin nail. They cost right around the same as brad nails, little to nothing. I like having them around, especially for these smaller projects. Lining up the next one. I kind of put it off the side of the workbench so that it's easier to nail for me. Just like so. Now we're going to put our glass panes, plexiglass panes, into place. Don't need any glue. Don't need nothing. They just sit in there. Putting some glue on these guys. And because this is technically the top of our box, I do like to shoot the nails just into the side so you don't have nails on the top. So I shoot both of my nails into the smaller side. Put your hole on this. Adjust it how you want. You really don't see them anyway. And there you have it, a completed box. This was actually stained with some walnuts I had picked up from the yard. That video posted last week. Go check it out. And if they are using this to save some money up, they can pick one out if you want. I don't stick them on the front, although they do fit perfectly on there. You do have this as the background. Maybe they want to see their money. Let's get down to brass tacks. Chicken, how'd we do? Got good penmanship. 1 by 6 by 8, looking at $6.99. The plexiglass plus the little money signs, Amazon, $15.99 for the total that we had used. Glue, this is, okay, 19 cents. Electricity, you wrote down a kilowatt number. I don't know what 17,817 kilowatt. You didn't write down the finishing number. $1.47. Stain costing us 11 cents, even though we did make our own stain from black walnut. Go check that video out. Saw blade wear and tear, ridiculous. 3 cents. Pin nails, 2 cents. Running total, $24.80 to knock these guys out. About how long does it take? 1.5 to 2 hours of time if you're not sitting here also filming and talking to a fake chicken. So not too bad. I'm selling these for $15 each, the 5x7s. You can beef them up to get the larger sizes if you want. Smaller guys, $8 to $10 a piece. You can paint the insides to be a color. Forgot to mention that. You know, make them look kind of cool. Just do that painting before you put the stain on the outside. Bada bing, bada boom, done. All in all, 1x6x8, got 9 products sitting in front of us, ready to sell out the door. Free plans available, who'sthevoss.com. Half the people have already left the video, so this is where I'm going to say goodbye. Bye. As you're cutting your grooves, just know that it is going to hide your saw blade. And peekaboo is not something I like to play with this machine. If you are using a plastic push stick, just know if they come in contact with the blade as you push your material through, because they are different densities, these are usually much harder, they like to explode. And it's the only time I've ever had an accident with my table saw is when this guy exploded and came back to clap me. So if you're using a plastic push stick, just know, kind of keep it hugged over to the side. I like to make my own push sticks. These are a few of the push sticks I still use after I'd made every push stick available from all the makers on YouTube. Go check that video out. Again, free plans for all of them, including the weird hand one that's behind me. These do have a piece on the back. It's going to gently cut through this piece. I just replace it when I need to. This guy, I got an 1 3/8 of play, 3/4 inch push stick up against the fence. It's going to fit all day long.